Welcome to Tales from the Switch Vault, where I, Jim, look back at some of the weird and wonderful games from the Nintendo Switch. This time I triple jump my way around Super Mario Odyssey. Initially teased during the Nintendo Switch announcements trailer in 2016, it was formally announced in a Nintendo Direct in January 2017 before launching in October that same year. The first 3D Mario title since 2013's Super Mario 3D World, and 7 years on from Mario Galaxy 2, it was a highly anticipated release after such a long time. Super Mario Odyssey is a 3D platformer with you playing as Mario and in classic fashion trying to save Princess Peach from Bowser. The twist here is she's kidnapped with Bowser planning a forced wedding for them both and is smashing his way through the world to collect items to accomplish this. As Mario, you get beaten up right at the start and have to follow in Bowser's wake with the aid of Cappy. He inhabits your ripped hat and together you go to different worlds to collect moons, which power up your ship to chase them down. Cappy is the real mechanical star in this, allowing the player to capture items and enemies to solve puzzles and get around. He can also be flung out to knock out enemies and boxes, alongside being held in place to help Mario platform. The movement is fantastic in this game, with a long jump into a roll particularly satisfying. You can actually get to really high places using a mixture of wall jumping, Cappy placement and jumping off. It even brings in the triple jump from the more linear 3D World Land games. Throughout each world there are NPCs to meet, with quests to complete and coins to collect. Gold, which is used as the currency in every world and replaces the life system with a small financial penalty upon death, and purple coins, which are exclusive to each level and can unlock new outfits themed around the area and items for your ship. Each world is actually quite open, and as you explore you hit various checkpoints that also act as fast travel points. In some you can actually change the environment, such as melting all the ice in the sandland to open things up even more. Towards the end, most of the levels are boss fights, divided up into two versions. The main antagonists are the Broodals, rabbit-formed creatures that attempt to beat the hell out of you on behalf of Bowser. The others are more based on the theme of each world, such as the Aztec boss that throws a lot of punches. A really nice touch are the 2D sections, usually set into a wall or a tower and used to get up to new areas. I love the 8-bit style, particularly the moons, alongside the seamless animation as the player bursts out from 2D to 3D. It's ridiculously impressive. It's just a fun game to run around in and fight and discover new things. I've not really played this since launch, and I forgot how great this game looks, even more so with the Switch 2 with its update. Some of the worlds are incredible. The shimmering sand and star-laden sky of Star Kingdom are gorgeous. The level of detail is astounding, far beyond what you'd expect from a game like this. Looking up and seeing the bright moon with all the pockmarked detail is really nice. It extends to the world map as well, though it's pretty linear, the Earth and the moon are incredibly detailed on there. All the classic world types are here, for example the snow level, which is pretty predictable, though even the new type in Luncheon Kingdom are a little bit lacking for me. It's nice to see even Dark Souls influencing Mario with the Ruined Kingdom. Shoutouts to the map design though, an actual fold out paper map that gets thrown up on screen, it's a really cool touch. The outfit designs are fantastic too, they have so many and cater to everyone. My original favourite was running around as Luigi until I locked the Wario one, which basically I lived in until the end game. It's not actually too bad to 100% the purple coins in each area, meaning you can get all the outfits and items for the Odyssey ship relatively easy. There are some curious design choices, the people being almost human in New Donk City being particularly peculiar, though shoutouts to having random characters showing up in the wrong area, nice setup for later levels. Also, a stack of Goombas or the very cute frog at the start are all part of the awesome many designs throughout. Look, I know I'm waxing lyrical, but the music is also amazing, really leaning into the big band numbers, giving it some real heft. The orchestral pieces are fantastic. Shoutouts to Fossil Falls, which is an all-time Mario classic. The origins actually go back to the early design decision to make the character Pauline have an interest in jazz music and turn her into a singer. This would lead to one of the all-time best musical numbers in a game with Jump Up Superstar. It was so unexpected when you go into that level, though the lyrics are actually written on the inside of the game case, so... Interestingly, Kate Higgins, a voice actress, singer and pianist, was hired to voice Pauline and would sing the main title track. Having had a prolific career across anime, animation and films, she has been in so many video games as well, including Pura and Tears of the Kingdom, Tales from various Sonic games and the Scarlet Witch in Marvel Rivals. She does a wonderful job here. How this hooks you in is exploring these dense and interesting areas, compared to say 3D Land on 3DS, which has these pretty linear though 3D levels with a flagpole ending. Nintendo deliberately set out to create a game for its more core audience, meaning more exploration and discovery during gameplay. A really telling example of this is getting to a very hard to reach place and discovering gold coins there, and knowing nod from the devs that they expect people to literally go above and beyond. You won't really want to explore unless there's something to get, so the collectibles play a key part. Moons are littered across the map, some in plain sight but most are hidden behind a puzzle. Collect enough of these in each world and it opens up the next one. The coins are everywhere, it's still so satisfying to have the ding of each collected one. I also have only just realised there is a capture list in the menu and I've yet to collect all of them in the game, which is a shocking omission on my part. Typically, most 3D Mario games are a little light on power-ups. For instance, 64 has only a few including the Wing Mario, Galaxy has a few more including B Mario, my favourite, but Sunshine just gives you the FLUDD device to get around and fight enemies. Odyssey, however, literally just has Cappy. Your partner used to control enemies and use their powers alongside various objects. It's such a thrill to gain control of anyone not wearing a hat and seeing what they can do. A Cheep Cheep negates the need to draw breath and swims far more quickly and smoothly underwater. The T-Rex is just a huge dinosaur monster, smashing up the world, breaking rocks and taking out chain chomps. My favourite though are the Sherms, tanks that you can spam projectile attacks at enemies in the world while zooming around. Each world has unique enemies to control and solve particular puzzles and get moons. It's such a genius move to flip the world on its head this way. Instead of just attacking enemies, how can you use these little weirdos to find all the little secrets? Probably what gave to much speculation of Odyssey 2 release. Not only was the game incredibly good, but it has an endless list of enemies that could be utilised to keep every level interesting, with a million more ideas ready. On the Switch 2, Mario Odyssey received a free update to boost performance. This includes resolution increases for 4K in dock mode, 1080p in handheld, and a solid 60 frames per second during play. It's so smooth and has much faster loading times, a huge upgrade overall and pleasingly totally free. There will be different mileage for players on this title, even when you hit the credits. It's about 13 hours to get through, depending on how distracted or curious you are. There are a ton of moons to collect, 880, alongside the purple coins, which make up the brunt of 100% in the game. You unlock 3 worlds post-game, 2 of which I found to be very unexpected. There's the co-op mode, where one player controls Mario and another Cappy. Nintendo seems to do this a lot now. I would much prefer a full second character. Luigi is right there. Alongside there's the Brothers Balloon World Online Challenge, tasking players to find the hidden Luigi. It's a nice idea that doesn't add too much. As usual for a first-party Switch game, this came out of Nintendo EPD, Production Group Number 8, or EPD Tokyo as it's also called. The studio renamed prior to Odyssey launching, and has had the sole focus of 3D Mario games in the preceding years. Well, kind of if you include Captain Toad and the excellent Donkey Kong Bonanza as well. EPD Tokyo was assisted by 1UP Studio. It was formed in 2000 mainly of X-Square staff due to the then ongoing merger with Enix. It was wholly owned by Nintendo and then known as Brownie Brown before restructuring and changing its name in 2013. Initially it focused on GBA and DS games, though they have become the support studio working on Super Mario 3D Land, 3D World, and more recently Mario Kart World and DK Bonanza to name but a few. For Mario Odyssey, Shigeru Miyamoto would act as the creative fellow, receiving concepts and giving feedback to the creators. It was said that he left the team to its own devices quite a lot. The game wanted to return to its roots in Sunshine and be much more open. Basing the game around motion controls, it was found the most natural fit was throwing an object, and it was decided that Mario's hat would be the object thrown in the game. It's interesting that they wanted to make a game that could be played in short bursts or longer sessions. This was done with following the storyline or just hunting for moons. A telling modernization of the company was the views on how the camera movement should operate, with them ultimately deciding that if kids got it with Minecraft easily enough, it would be fine here. Although it was nominated for almost every award under the sun, I was expecting far more wins than it actually got. And then I remember 2017 also had Breath of the Wild, and it's not much of a mystery. Mario Odyssey would win Family and Game Design at the BAFTAs, Outstanding Achievement in Sound Design at DICE, and Best Family Game at the Game Awards. Critically, it scored an astonishing 97 on Metacritic, making it critically one of the best games ever made. 29.5 million copies sold is an incredible rate, which is more than double what Mario Galaxy did. Look, I kind of ruined Mario Odyssey for myself. Whereas I took my time to explore Hyrule and get the most out of Breath of the Wild, I actually received a physical copy of Mario Odyssey 3 days early and pressured myself to finish it as fast as possible. Why? I have no idea. Maybe to brag that I'd be in it before others have even tried it, but it meant that I thought this game was only fine rather than it being an absolute classic, the one that I loved. Really stupid of me and something I've managed to avoid in the future, mainly by not getting any games early anymore. For a game you're meant to poke around in, experiment and just see what happens, speedrunning it the first time misses all the joy. Coming back just to have a little more go and find out new surprises and areas, it was well worth the time. For such a big fan of Galaxy, it's great to finally find the love for Odyssey's open areas, particularly as I also loved Bonanza 2. As for my minor complaints, the motion controls don't work too well in handheld mode, though that might be a bit more of a me issue. It would have been nice to have less of this gimmick, though they based the game around it, so fair enough. The clothing is really cool. I wish it did more than beyond the looks. They actually fixed this in the Bonanza though. I think the Broodals are totally forgettable bosses, and I just don't like them. It's a shame because some of the other boss fights, like the Aztec-themed Knuckle Tech, are fantastic. Anyway, it's incredible to see where a series can go after 40 years, and though I can't wait to see what they do next, I'm very happy they're branching out with other series for 3D games. There must be so much pressure to come up with a whole new twist on 3D Mario, but I'm sure we'll get one in the Switch 2's life cycle. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe for more weekly Nintendo Switch video essays. Right, only 180 moons left to buy.